We want to introduce our first guest, a quilter whose freehand work has been winning awards for her clients since her business started in 1994.
She's the winner of Best Machine Quilting Honors for the past 3 years at the wonderful Iowa State Fair.
Yeah.
And she's a national long arm educator and a judge, a quilt show judge.
So let's have a big hand for Dawn Cavanaugh.
Dawn Cavanaugh!
Come on down.
Yay!
Hey guys, good to see you.
Dawn, thank you. It's great to see you.
Thanks for coming, Dawn. We're excited to see what you're going to show us today.
Oh, I'm excited to show you too. Hey, I heard that you've been working on the machine and you just about have a quilt done for your daughter's boyfriend.
It's for Valentine's Day. It's coming up, and I finished it last night. I took it off the machine yesterday afternoon, and there's nothing like that feeling of a job well done, and it only took me a few hours.
Marianne, you told me it took you 3 hours, start to finish, which is amazing.
Yeah, well, a couple plus one.
Yeah, a couple plus one. Yeah, but that's terrific.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And the binding's all done?
The binding is done. I finished it just before we rolled the camera.
It probably took you as long to do the binding as it did to quilt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's great. And you figured out that it doesn't take very long on a machine to get those quilt projects finished.
I love doing it. I love making a quilt all myself.
It's really
wonderful.
great.
I love long arm professionals like you, but there's a wonderful satisfaction in thinking, I made this myself start to finish.
That's great. Hey, can you always keep a secret?
Well, can I tell her?
As long as we can talk about it together.
Okay.
I've been having a love affair for the past 14 years.
Ooh, Dawn, that's kind of serious.
I know.
A Midwestern girl like you?
Hey, what can I say? We can certainly make some fun. And
Yeah.
I want to tell you, it's been with someone that you both know.
Ooh, that's even worse.
Let me show you who it
Not
is.
my ex-husband.
No, it's not your ex-husband. No. No. But this definitely has some smooth lines here.
That's better. I feel a little better about that.
That's good.
A lot of late nights, I bet.
Lots of late nights, quilting in my pajamas, stocking feet, exactly.
Yeah.
But my love affair with APQS and my machine's been going on for 14 years.
Well, I can understand that because the more you do, the more fun it is.
It's exactly that it's so much fun that I just don't want to quit. And well, I grew up on a farm, and I love to work outside, so I would help my dad working in the field. One of the things that just drove him nuts was when I try and find reverse in the tractor. Okay?
You got to use the clutch.
Okay. Maybe that was the problem because those gears would just go as you drive it along.
Yeah.
It's an ugly sound. Well, one of the things I really love about my APQS quilting machine takes care of that. It's called a synchronous belt drive. Have you heard of that?
Ooh, that sounds
Nope, I believe you.
You believe me? Hey, you two are always working together, so I'm going to actually make you work a little bit harder today. This is the synchronous belt that works in the back of the APQS quilting machine, right back here, and it runs the drive pulley. That's what gives me such beautiful stitches. This puppy does not stretch. Now, I know you two have worked together for so long. Let's see if you can pull that apart.
Oh, no.
That's how you get that great stitch quality then. It's so consistent.
Exactly. That's the same type of belt you'd find that's running your car engine. Yeah. It's really strong.
And the neat thing about it is, I don't even need to know. I mean, it's great to know it's in there. I just start quilting, because it's in there. I know it's working, and that's why.
It's the hidden stuff that makes it work.
Right.
Exactly. Those teeth work together with the drive pulley, and because it's so precise, if I move the machine left or right, it doesn't really matter because that passes the torque all the way through the shaft up to my needle. That's why we can move it in so many great directions and have beautiful stitches.
Well, that's really neat.
Just like yesterday, I would go down and then I would go back and forth, and I didn't even break thread, and it was fantastic.
Exactly. And since there aren't any metal gears running next to each other inside the machine, you wouldn't hear that like you did with the tractor when I was switching gears.
So I can run this without needing to, get involved with the clutch and tearing stuff up.
This is one of those affairs that's really worked out well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unlike other kinds that...
Very true. Very true.
Well, I'm just dying to have you show us some things on the machine, Dawn.
Great. Well, let's move around. I have some things on the handles I'd like to tell you about. Well, just take a look at the three of us. We're not even the same height. Quilters come in all shapes and sizes, and we all have a passion. Would you agree? We love to quilt. Exactly. We love to quilt. I would quilt before I'd clean house. Yes. Before I'd cook supper. Yes. before well, you know, you can think of a lot of different things.
Yeah. See, the advantage of making it a business is that you can justify not cleaning the house and not cooking supper. I was working.
I have important work to do.
Right. I do too, exactly. If anyone comes to visit and they lift up a cup, they better put it exactly in the same spot where that dust ring is. Because,
makes it easy to find where to put it.
Quilters are good at that. They can line things up.
Exactly. The machine makes it easy to line things up too, because the handles adjust for you. If I'm taller and need to stand upright, I can pull them up. If I'm a little bit more petite, I can push them down. And really what's terrific is I can quilt for a long time. I don't have to worry about supper, because if I get a little fatigued, I can even sit down to quilt. Have you guys done that yet?
Yeah, I have, but you know about the handles, what made me think, just yesterday, I was using a straight edge to go along, and when I needed to see better, I could just raise the handles along to see where my guide was. I used it all the time yesterday.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
If you're tired of standing and you prefer to sit, or if your hands get fatigued, you can move them up, down, even rest your wrists right here. The great thing about this adjustability is that those handles prevent that cumulative trauma injury that we all are used to. Maybe your wrists get very tired or your hands get tired. You don't have to grip this, as you showed earlier, Liz.
Oh, just a couple fingers. I mean, it's amazing.
It's so easy.
You know, the thing I found too, Dawn, it kind of depended what kind of stitching I was doing, what position I wanted the handles in. Some kinds of stitching, I wanted to feel my hands down a little closer to the quilt. And other times I did better if I, like driver's ed, took the big view, you know, had my hands up a little higher. And you can adjust, you know, with that adjustment keeps you from getting so tired while you're working too.
Oh, most definitely. If I had to drive with my hands up here all the time, I could feel my shoulders starting to come up and the stiffness in the neck. I don't feel that kind of a stress with the APQS movable handles. You know, you brought up a great point with getting that down closer to your work. Doesn't that make it easier to drive when you're closer? Kind of like a pencil. If I were to try and draw on a piece of paper, holding that pencil up here by the eraser, it wouldn't look too pretty.
Not too good.
No, but if I can get my needle, or my hands rather, down close to the needle, just like the pencil, when I hold it down close, it's going to be beautiful. It gives me more control.
Yeah, I think that's a very neat feature.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And another great thing I love is that all the controls are right at my fingertips. If I'm quilting along and I'm doing that micro stippling and I decide, gosh, I would like my stitches to be a little tighter or a little looser, with a touch of a button, I can change the stitch length. It's as easy as that.
Oh, now that's very cool. You're not having to stop.
And there's little lights that tell you what you did, too.
Exactly.
See,
I like to watch the little lever
off my quilting experience yesterday.
Yeah. And then there's that little bar that comes up that sets the speed. And
oh, yes. This will tell me exactly how many stitches per inch I've chosen, and it makes it easy to not make a mistake.
Yeah.
Try that with hand quilting.
That's exactly
or
right.
on home sewing machine.
Oh,
you know?
gosh.
I know one
that's
time,
right.
you know, Marianne and I were quilting on TV, and I was really doing a pretty good job, and then Marianne decided to help smooth down the quilt behind me, and she moved the quilt and went, loop, you know, and had these great big stitches. It was like, you know, really embarrassing.
You're not ever going to have to worry about that with the stitch regulator on an APQS machine. You're going to be perfect. You already are. Both of you are perfect.
Yeah. I'm working on
even starting to get to, like, take the regulator off. And
oh, my gosh. Marianne.
Yeah, I know. I never thought I'd get there, but it's fun.